everybody. It's Mike again. I'm here with Julie Powers, one of our high school mathematics teacher, and Julie, who you have beside us here.
This is my husband, Dondee Canos. He's in the Navy and most recently just got back last week from 9 months in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I can't tell you a whole lot about what he did because I'm not allowed to ask and he's not allowed to tell. Just know that he was in Cuba and all the pictures that I got from him had blue water behind him and just he got to skip a winter. That's all.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Those are the only pictures I was allowed to take.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, at least it was the ocean, and you couldn't
Right.
see anything but the beauty of it.
So it was a little deceiving. I wasn't vacationing for 9 months. I actually did some work.
Right. So, Julie, we're recognizing you, number one, for every time I come into the high school. I love coming down the math way and seeing everybody, and I've been able to pop into your classroom.
Yes, love it.
And we were just talking about really teaching, knowing the subject obviously is very, very important, but it's not as important as getting to know your kids and being your authentic self. And, but tell me a little bit about how long you've been here and your career path.
Okay, so I started here in 1990 as a student teacher, and the very next summer got a job teaching at 91. So this is my 32nd year. I have about 3 years left, give or take. I have a nephew in the freshman class, and hopefully he and I will retire or graduate at the same time. I won't mention names, but he'll know who he is. And I love, on the first day of class, to look at my students and say, I hope that you guys are happy to be in whatever the math class is, but my name is Julie Powers, and I'm not a math teacher. And I pause. And they kind of start to look at each other like, what is this lady is about? And I want them to think I'm as strange as possible. And then I said, you guys, I don't teach math, I teach students. And to me, that's a big difference. And that's why we are different every day. That's why our challenges are different every year. So I'm still at year 32, or I'm at there, and I'm not finished. I don't want to finish improving until beyond after I retire. That's my goal.
Well, the beauty of Loveland is we have about 250 teachers, and every teacher I get the privilege of sitting here and talking to is like you. It's about serving our kids and a passion for what you're doing, which is why I love this profession and why I like to try and help as much as we can. But if we switch gears over to Dondee, this is our first couple that we've been able to interview, and I appreciate you coming in, and obviously appreciate you for your service and everything you do, and obviously it feeds your soul to do what you're doing with the armed forces. So tell me a little bit about your path there.
I didn't go from high school to college to get my commission. I took the roundabout route.
But you kept taking more and more responsibility.
Right. And that was, that's what it boils down to, is you put yourself in an uncomfortable position.
100%.
And as you become uncomfortable, you grow. And it's that growth that kind of propelled me to where I was able to start networking and opportunities pop open. They say leaders are born, not made. I tend to disagree. You learn to lead by example, and someone who comes in who has that presence of leadership, you're like, you know what? That's who I want to be. I want to become one of those guys.
So we talked about leadership a little bit. I've always found it hard to kind of teach leadership. I think the path you're talking about does remind me a lot of kind of the path as a teacher and a coach, and as you start to develop, I'm pretty confident in this. I'm pretty comfortable. For me, it was get out of the comfort zone and learn. And what you always try and tell students is when they're like, oh, I didn't need to know this. Like, you don't know. Maybe you don't, maybe you will. But some of the stuff I learned, kind of the same as what you're saying, you realize that when you're put in a leadership position, 20 years of doing this, that helps. And it helps you be empathetic to what people are going through. And I think trying to teach leadership is hard, other than to say what we had said before is, I think the experiences make you who you are. You know who you are. You develop an authenticity. You have to be authentic and know who you are. And I would always tell kids, and I didn't earn the right to use a military term, but I would say if you want to be a general, you better be a good soldier.
That's right.
That's exactly it.
There's a reason you got to where you are. It's because of who you are, the character you have, you are to your
Right.
core.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that you talked about your family, and Julie had said they're Filipino descent, and that you had said that they were in the medical field, and I'm sure initially it's like, oh, it's going to the armed forces, and here you are right now. They have to be beaten with pride like Julie is about, not necessarily where you are, but who you are.
It's funny you should say that, 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, back when I was enlisted, they're like, oh, God,
Yeah.
what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I'm actually, my dad was the first to call me. My thing about social media is that I got promoted in a part of the island that I was allowed to have a Facebook feed. So
Okay.
I did my
That's
promotion
nice.
on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, that's-
So yeah, my followers,
Yeah.
proud of the promotion, and so he wears Navy swag now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, I want to say thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing your
So-
story.
There's a tradition in the actually military, but more so in the Navy, to give coins to say thank you. And even though you're not a military member, these coins are in recognition of people, not so much rank. And they're presented in the palm of a hand, in the form of a handshake. Again, it's about people, not rank. Thank you for the support you've given my wife. Thank you for support for that. Yes. This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have family and support from my family's.
And even though it's coming
Years.
from him, it's from both of us.
Well, I appreciate it. I get emotional because I don't know if I earned that stuff, but
You do.
thank you.
You do.
So tell me, so I don't get too emotional, tell me, what was the first movie you guys went to as a couple? Let's see if you get the right answer.
I see dead people.
It was-
Or was it with Nicolas Cage?
No, that's Bruce Willis.
Okay, sorry.
On our
But it was
honeymoon.
with Nicolas Cage at the Kenwood Town Center when it used to have a movie theater.
You went
It
to
was on
honeymoon at
Easter.
the Kenwood Theater?
The day after we
Yes.
went to
Oh.
a night movie on Easter.
Right. Sixth Sense was our honeymoon movie.
Yeah.
But the Nicolas Cage
Yeah, that's
and Meg Ryan
Ryan.
movie, City of Angels,
That's it.
was our first
That's
movie.
awesome. That's awesome. I love, you're one of 250 staff members,
Yes.
and every staff member has a story
Yes.
like this, and I love getting to meet them. And I appreciate this more than thank you very much.
Very much.
And on three, we always say go Tigers. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Go
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 Tigers.
Tigers.
Tigers! And you can cut out like
thank you.